I love you, and I want to share with you the three most valuable lessons I've learned from 300 sales calls in the past couple months. Whether you're a salesman or not a salesman, we're really all salespeople because we're living in the age where robots are replacing so many jobs and it's risky to be employed. We need to sell ourselves to our employer or we need to sell ourselves to our clients. This is the age of the artist entrepreneur, as James Altucher says. So I have been making these 300 sales calls, and I'm not an expert, but I'm also not a novice anymore, and I'm an intermediate. I've learned enough that I can share some valuable lessons from you. Not just from me, but I would also, if you're looking for reading, the two best sales books I would actually recommend. I've read some more. These are the ones I recommend. Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone and The Prosperous Coach. This one is super good. Top two sales books. So before we get into the three lessons that are going to help you, let me give you a little bit of context so you can understand where I'm coming from, where this information is coming from. I say 300 sales calls. They're really 300 inbound hot enrollment calls. So I have a little coaching practice, which is generally, it's 95% card games, Magic the Gathering, this coaching service, 4% basketball. I've had a couple basketball clients and currently have one, and 1% business and life strategy. But that is just incidental. Basically, it is magic stuff. But since I'm doing different things, I can see that the same basic principles work for everything that I'm doing. And again, it's inbound. I'm not calling random people. People are finding out about me. They're filling out forms. They're applying. And these are not like 300 quick calls. They oftentimes last more than an hour. Sometimes they last half an hour. So I've logged my 300 hours. Not an expert, but not a novice, and I can share some lessons with you. So number one, three lessons from 300 enrollment interviews. Number one, being genuinely interested in the other person is extremely valuable. If you can put 100% of your attention on the other person, that is extremely valuable, and they will want to work with you just for that. Just for that. If you're just genuinely interested. This is a lesson from How to Win Friends and Influence People as well. But think about it. We all are extremely self-interested, and we tend to express that through talking about ourselves all the time. So think about the last conversations you've had in the past couple days. Generally, they go like, either people take turns talking about themselves or one person talks about themselves. If it's a good conversation, usually they'll be asking questions, but we're still tying it back to ourselves, right? So the experience of, if you can tie everything back to them, only speak about yourself in reference to how you can best serve them, focus on their problems, focus on their goals, their dreams, their solutions. If you can do that, that is extremely valuable. Give them 100% of their attention. Everyone's on their phones. If you can set their phones down and you just take notes, I'm taking notes of what you're saying. I'm taking notes of what you're saying, right? That is extremely valuable. Whatever you're selling or enrolling, just that is super valuable. Number one, be genuinely interesting. Number two, you do not need this client. You don't need this. You do not need this. If you feel that you need this, then you need more leads. You need more inbound. You need better bait. You need better value. You need more you can offer, right? And it's the same with, I feel it's the same with relationships. And right, if you feel that you need this, you just don't have enough options. You need more options, and you get more options by having more to offer, by putting yourself out there, and by inviting people into your life. So in terms of sales, right, I'm talking about 300 sales calls for coaching in which I don't have enough time, right? The way things are set up, I can handle 50 people maybe because I'm bringing other coaches in. The way it's a mastermind organization actually. So, but even then I can't take more than 1 in 5, 1 in 6. I don't need this client, right? This is from Grant Cardone. You want to have so many leads that when people cancel, you're like, whoo, I have an hour break today. Thank God, right? So, right, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Again, Prosperous Coach says you cannot be needy or it's going to be a hell no, right? So, whatever you can do to generate more leads, more interest, more people coming in, the less you need these clients and the better you can serve them because you're not trying to sign them up. You're legitimately trying to figure out if it's a good fit, and you'll see that, oh, I don't want to work with this person, or I'm sorry, this isn't a good fit. I'm not even going to show you the price, right? So that's huge. That's huge. You don't need this client. You don't need this anything. You need more options if that's the case. So number one, be genuinely interested. Number two, you don't need this. Number three, you can learn from everyone. This is huge. Man, to me, to talk to 300 people, and if you, around the world, there's so much you can learn. You can learn, right, if people are in different areas, you can learn about currency, you can learn about logistics, you can learn about vernacular language, or location rather, you can learn about relative disposable incomes and lifestyles. If someone has an interesting career, you can ask them about that career, not because it relates to your interview necessarily, but it's an opportunity to learn something interesting. You can learn through inversion, rather, what not to do from certain people. You'll see some people are really unhealthy or they don't think right, and maybe they're drinking soda or they're drinking Mountain Dew, right? And if you're in that camp, figure that out. But you can learn, and Abraham Lincoln says, I learn from everyone, but for many people I learn what not to do. Inversion, right? So you can learn from everyone. So if you have, I know some people are scared of sales calls or whatever you want to call them, but man, there's such awesome opportunities for learning. And you don't need anyone. And if you're genuinely interested in the other person, they will love you. So, hope you found that useful. If you're more experienced, let me know what other. If you have a top 2 books, or you have a top 3 lessons, post them below. If you are a coach and you relate to this, comment below. If you are a noob that needs to start selling themselves to your employer or to your clients, post below. I want to see. So let's talk in the comments. I want to know what's up. Peace.